Well, good evening and a very warm welcome to you all. James here once again, after a little while. I thought perhaps I'd just like to get one last final video in of the year. I was kind of inspired somewhat to try and make the effort to get to do something by way of just saying thanks for subscribing. I know I've picked up a few fairly recently, and I guess people are finding my videos and watching them, so that's lovely, and I hope that's people find some interest. But and I have been keeping an eye on various uploads and things of interest, but as and when time allows. And it's a very familiar story that we've heard all many times before, that things just get busy, and priorities just kind of get altered around, and before you know it, months have gone by, and things that you normally would like to do just don't get done. So anyway, a fairly brief one from me. Not a great deal to report. All is well. Still enjoying my pipes. I'm enjoying tonight some Germain's Rich Dark Flake in this little Barling, which is a rather pleasant little pipe. I don't really quite know what you would call that shape. Probably maybe a Zulu, but it's become my sort of well, it seems to smoke birdies rather nicely, and it's when it stays lit, it's rather pleasant. It's one of the little pipes I had repaired at Blackmore Briars by Mike. He did the carved a new stem for me actually whilst I was there, and it was quite a tricky job, because the well, this sort of part of the pipe here is rather on the skinny side. It's kind of oval in section. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's quite a finely made little pipe, and it took some care to get it right, and yeah, it's nothing particularly special, but again, I think I'm finding over the years of smoking pipes that sort of what are now my favourites are the most sort of humblest of pipes that seem to do the job. So and I've settled on sort of a somewhere between a medium, a small to medium bowled, but I know people have different classifications of bowl sizes and things like that, and people smoke quite large bowls, but it's whatever takes your fancy. But I seem to have settled on a range of pipes, and I probably ought to sort of scale things down a bit, and I don't like to see pipes sat sort of unsmoked, so it may well be that some get moved on, but so I did find I haven't got it right now, but I found a lovely Dunhill tan shell, I believe it is, like a rusticated finish, which was in fairly poor condition, and I think I paid the princely sum of £3. I think Tree would be very proud, so I'll show that off at some point. I've cleaned it up, and I've been smoking it rather a lot actually, and it's one of those sort of humble little pipes that one comes across and finds is a nice performer, although rather sort of subtle and not particularly showy. But again, it was something. It was at a vintage fair, and amongst other lovely things, and not recognised for its quality. And I believe, I don't know an awful lot about them particularly, but it's not. I think it's a 1960s, 50s, 60s pipe, and it's probably not the most sought after, but nonetheless a very nice find. So that was rather pleasing. But other than that, nothing too tremendous to report on the pipe front. I've been enjoying mainly St Bruno and Condor, as I can get them both locally, and I just find that they hit the spot, simple as that. And I have more recently stocked upon Bob's Chocolate Flake, a bit of Germain's Rich Dark Flake, which I love, and I've also got to try some Grasmere Flake from the Kendall series of the Gowth and Hogarth blends, and I know this has popped up quite a number of times, but I will give my impressions of that when I've got through some of it. And actually my in-laws very kindly have purchased me 50 grams of that, so I shall very much look forward to that. And I believe it is known as the Gardener's Blend, and really it's well, a shame that I haven't really got around to trying it so far. And I do enjoy the Lakeland tobaccos, and particularly the Kendall blends. So I shall look forward to that, and I will share with you my views on that. I'm hoping it'll be favourable, because it would just work out lovely, because I don't know, I've got a spot for another blend that's a little bit more sort of interesting, and to excite the taste buds a bit more perhaps. So I shall you'll see a bit of that coming up hopefully in the new year, and yeah, I shall look forward to that. So but other than that, just my sort of usual favourites, and one or two other little bits and bobs on the way. I had the usual sort of full Virginia flake, and I think there was some Erin more along the way, but yeah, just nothing out of the ordinary. And I try to buy locally if I can. I do obviously buy online, but I like to, whilst it's still available, this is a common thread through the community, but whilst these things are still available in shops that you can actually walk into and buy, then whether it be a supermarket or not, then I shall continue to do so. So I think you know, who can tell whether that's going to last or not in the current climate. But so for now, I shall still be getting the St Bruno and the Condor, you know, as a off the counter, walk in and buy it, and you know, no waiting for the post. So so that's good. So yeah, so looking forward to the end of year holidays. Work has been busy as usual. It's been particularly trying this year because of the wet weather, the endless rain it seems we've had, although today has been a lovely dry day, so that's been good. But the ground conditions are just very poor, and not, you know, you have to be very selectable in terms of working the ground. So it's we haven't had it as bad as a lot of people, we've had sort of minor floods around here, but in Northamptonshire, but nothing really terrible. So I feel lucky in that respect. So, but nonetheless, it's been trying, and I think we're all. Well, I for one, I'm ready for some sort of crisp, chilly winter weather. We've had it rather mild, and it's especially this time of year. It's I like a bit of seasonal weather, so I'm rather envious whether I would regret that if we had any sort of severe winter weather again. I regret saying this, but I am sort of envious of proper winter conditions to contend with. Just doesn't seem right for us to be mild and just soaking wet. But anyway, wouldn't be one of my videos without comment on the weather. So yes, it's something that's always prominent. But so in the new year, I hope to try and post at least a little bit more often than I have been doing, and I have lots and lots of ideas. Nothing particularly fancy, but just I am keen to continue with the channel, and I still enjoy the community, and it's I'm guessing for the time being it's good fun, and I do have some additional new technologies by the way of a new PC that I shall be endeavouring to confront and manipulate to my advantage if I can. So I don't suppose it'll mean any more sort of major blockbuster special effects or anything like that, but it'll just make things a little bit easier, I hope, but we shall see. So yes, without waffling on too much longer, again I'd just like to say thank you very much for subscribing. I'm very pleased that you continue to do so, and I hope you can find some interest. I certainly find plenty of interest still with the videos that the community puts out, and look forward to seeing much more next year. So I must also mention I think Stephen Waters, because I think he's obviously having a rather tough time of it at the moment, and he always seems to be fairly bright and willing to keep us all informed of his circumstances, and he puts it out there, and I think that's I admire him for doing that, and I think that's I don't know, it's not an easy thing to do. So yeah, I admire him for that, and I'd just like to wish him all the best, and I hope that things improve for him, and that he is able to carry on doing what he likes to do and isn't halted too much by his issues. So we look forward to many more Cobbit of the Shire uploads, and also mention to I think Tim as well, Wharf Valley Boy. He did give me a shout out, and in the sort of missing in action video that he did, and that's much appreciated, and it did sort of inspire me to think about. It reminded me to get back on here and try and do something. So thanks for that, and again, we always sort of look out for presenters that we haven't seen for a long while, and it did strike a chord, and there's quite a few really that from time to time they sort of pop up again, and it's lovely to see people returning, and but I guess we're all in the same boat. sitting in front of a camera and you know, doing this is sometimes it can just be difficult to find the time, and other things sort of take hold, and before you know it, time's flown by. But so yes, that's pretty much about it. So with that, I shall say until next time, cheerio, and all the very best, warmest season's greetings to you all, and I shall see you again on another one next year. Thanks very much.